to the Rocket Radio Show on the Alternate Media Broadcast Network. Ladies and gentlemen, here is your host, Rocket.
Oh no, maybe I'm inadequate.
Hey, you know I gotta pump you up, brother. I'm excited.
I like it too. I'm happy today. I live on a farm, right? And I got a bunch of dogs and chickens, horses, so I got a lot of food. Storage food. I gotta feed the horses, that's messy, there's grain and stuff. And the dogs chase the coyotes away pretty good. They do. That's what they're for. They do a pretty good job, but not all the way, especially in the middle of the night when it's freezing cold or it's pouring down rain. But anyway, so I started noticing I'd open up the door to the tack shed, goddamn mice and rats would just go fucking running, totally visible. Like, whoa, there's one, shit! We need a cat. So finally there's an ad. I'm going to get to my point in a second. When I get accused. I'm not getting accused. But we went to a cat shelter, and I had like $500 in my pocket. Not just for a cat, but I had $500 in my pocket. We need a cat. Got rats. They wouldn't fucking give us one. They got like cats with one eyeball, cats on dialysis, cats that are married, she said. Goddamn crazy woman down there. Well, when we mentioned that the cat would be outside, she was like, no way, coyote kibble. Won't do it. The cat rescue, trying to get rid of cats. Guy with cash won't give us the cat. Trippy. So, eventually, though, we got a cat, and after about a month, it disappeared. And, there was a time period there where my chickens were disappearing, too. But not really disappearing. There'd just be a pile of feathers kind of out there a little ways where they cleaned it all up, and the coyotes took it. But we got a cat, and then it got taken by the coyotes about a month or two. Did a good job on the mice. So I got another cat. I swear I got another cat. Lasted about a month. Disappeared. I live out in the middle of nowhere. I don't got neighbors. Did get run over on the road because I'd see that, It's just disappeared, right? Milk carton kid. Disappeared. So I start to figure out, these coyotes, they take the cats after about a month. I usually get about 3 or 4 weeks out of the cat. So this time when I saw the free kittens, I got 2 of them because I know one's going to get grabbed in about a month, right? Well, actually, I went to the store at like 6 o'clock in the morning. We named them Piss and Vinegar. And I went to the store in the morning, super early. And as I was coming back, Piss was laying in the road, squished flat. So I had ran him over. But I saw him over by my truck as I was leaving. So I think what he did is he jumped up on the spare tire underneath my truck, And as I was driving down the road, he finally figured, shit, he's not stopping, and jumped. And when he did, he went right under the tire. He looked like a hieroglyphic. He was flat profile on the road. So now, then I only had 1 cat. Damn it. So pretty soon, there were some free kittens. And I figured I'd had this other cat now for about 2 months. So, shit, I'm about due to lose this guy. So I saw free kittens. So I was like, yeah, why don't you give me 2 of them? So she brought them over here, and sure enough, the other cat disappeared. Now I had 2 more kittens. And then the lady came by later that had the 2 kittens and said, hey, I got 1 more cat left, and nobody wants it, and I'm in a bind. Can you take this other cat? It was a boy cat. And so I said, okay, fuck, these cats are going to get whittled.
Please be advised, the Rocket Radio Show may cause sudden bursts of excitement.
turned up to a big old fatty bubbler. I spent about $65 on it. It works of art, those little glass bottles. Just tobacco. It's 4:30 somewhere in the world. No, I was saying I found my cat. My little boy, that's his name, little boy. I found him. He was missing for 24 hours. And I knew for sure the coyotes got him. That's how it goes. That was the story I was telling. I was giving you guys the full story about all the cats we've went through at this farm because they disappear after about a month. But it's weird how coyotes work. Am I on the air now?
Yes, you are on the air, Rocket.
Cool. It's weird how coyotes work. They're the biggest pussies in the world. If you see a coyote, he's made a mistake. They're cowards. You could hang a big juicy steak from a string right in the middle of your yard and sit there in a lawn chair. You won't see him. Now, once in a while, they might dart out from the bushes and grab that steak and go running. But normal coyote behavior, you won't even see him in the bushes watching that steak. They're silent. They're cowards. The key to their survival is flight, not fight. They will boogie from a chihuahua, or they'll turn around and grab it. It depends on their desperation. So, that being said, they're lurkers. They stay in the periphery. They're outside of the glow of the campfire, along the tree line. And there's something about a desperation that they need to dart out there to take a chance. And it's strange because they don't come and steal chickens from me unless it's bitter cold. They don't come and steal stuff unless it's pouring down rain a couple days in a row. And the reason why is there's no small game. When it's freezing cold, so below zero something, the little mice and stuff, they're hibernating. They're underground. They're not running around. There's less game. And so they get desperate. And they'll actually overcome their fear and dart into your, they'll go into the light of like the tool shed. He's underneath the light. You can see him there. And in the middle of the night, they get bold. Very similar to foreign banks. Right? But I don't want to hammer on that today because I'm happy because yesterday my cat showed up again. He was gone for a whole day. I figured for sure he had gotten, my German Shepherd. They're a really nice, guard dog German Shepherd. He's dead now. I had to shoot him. He broke his back. But back in the day, he disappeared. And about 2 weeks later, some lady sent us an email and said she had him. He was a couple of cities away. He had walked all the way down to the main road and walked around acting lost, and some lady let him in her car, and he went off with her to some other city, And so we had called around to a couple of vets to see if he had showed up, maybe hurt or something, and they called us back because a lady had called in and said she found this dog, and she went and turned it in over there, and that was him, So when he got back, he got in trouble for leaving the house without permission and going to Olympia. He was not allowed to go to Olympia by himself. He hitchhiked a ride to Olympia. Smartest dog. God, I love that dog. Funny as hell. Anyway, so what's going on with you, bro? Mystery. How's your day going?
Man, it's going pretty good. Man, I'm kind of interested in this dog story. So he just hitched a ride to Olympia. You didn't have him RFID chipped?
No, I wouldn't do that. And we live way out, and he had bad hips. He was like a rescue dog. He couldn't walk that good. He wouldn't want to walk that far. I would never have thought. I've never seen him. I got like 46 acres of property. I never seen him walk to the edge of the yard. It's so far, But somehow, some way, he just got it in his head to not only do that, but walk all the way down this country road to the main road, and then without getting himself in the traffic or anything, he managed to kind of hang out to where the lady could pull over and talk to him, and then get him to go get into the car. It's funny, man. That dog was hilarious. He could kind of talk when he was all excited, having fun, and like interacting with you, he would say stuff, kind of like Scooby-Doo. But he fell down the stairs and broke his back.
I remember
So
you doing a show about it. Yeah,
that was last fall. Sucked.
that was a sad show.
I know. My brother called me. He was crying. He said, "Sorry about your dog, bro." It's like, gosh. No, it's okay. I was sad, but it had to get done. And I didn't want some vet to do it, and moving him around really hurt him. So I just said, fuck it. I just dragged him outside. There's a door right there. I carefully pulled him outside. It was in the rain, too. And fed him some food and kind of tricked him. And when he wasn't really watching, pay attention, shot him with a 22 in the head. Then shot him with a 9mm in the head because it looked like he was still breathing.
Oh, man.
But he's buried over here where I can see him. And he's got little flowers on his grave and stuff. He was old. He was suffering. It was so weird, bro. For like 2.5 weeks, he had a broken back. He was downstairs because he fell down the stairs. That's how he fell down the stairs and hurt himself. And he just wouldn't stop going up and down there. He didn't need to go down there. And then, sure enough, we heard crash. We looked, and he's at the bottom of the stairs. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. And he could kind of walk. I wasn't sure if he was just hurt, and I was tired. He seemed like he was okay. But in the morning, we realized he couldn't come back up the stairs. And then eventually, within hours, he was just laying down. And, I thought about taking him to the vet and all that stuff. But the last time he went to the vet, they were talking about putting him to sleep because of his hips. So I knew they'd just say he needs to be put to sleep. But I thought, well, maybe he'll get better. And his up front of his body, above where his back was broken, he acted normal. And like I would go down there and check on him because I put food and water right there so he could reach it without having to go anywhere. And he'd have a normal look on his face, like he was happy, like everything was okay. And then he was pooping himself, kind of pooping near him where he's laying down. And I would go down there and clean it up, pissing and pooping. He can't walk, and I'm like, fuck. That went on for like 2 weeks. And every time I'd go down there, he'd have a happy smile on his face, like everything was cool. And I just didn't have the heart to fuck with him, And I tried to, I was going to take him to the vet, and I tried to start getting ready to move him. And he was agony. If I moved him, he was hurting. I leave him alone. Don't touch him. He's fine. And so I said, fuck it. About 2 weeks that goes by, and then finally one day, I realized I hadn't been down there all day, and I thought, well, I better go down and check on Gunther and see how he's doing. And I went down there, and he is such a noble dog. He never begged. He didn't bark at stupid shit, nothing. It's a real bark if he's barking. And full, beautiful, lean, super fast-looking, but big male German Shepherd. I mean, God, what a great dog. But old, But anyway, I go down there. I hadn't checked on him all day. I went down there to check on him. And he had water and everything, but he looked at me, and he gave me that look like, holy Christ, Dad, I am so miserable. I just sensed it, looking at him like, oh, man, he's suffering. Poor dog. And I realized, okay, what am I doing? What are my options here, Do I want someone else to do that? No. Do I want to take him to a vet? No, because when he goes to the vet, he's terrified. So, no, I don't want to do that. It just seemed like the right thing to do. I haven't replaced him yet. I'm going to get another dog and name him Gunther. But that was the story about that. And my brother called my show and cried for a second and said, hey, man, sorry about... He didn't call my show. He called me on my phone, but I think I was recording for a show. And he's like, hey, man, sorry about your dog. It's like, no, dude, it's okay. I just couldn't shoot him after following this case so long on the air. I had to follow through and let people know what happened, and it was sad. And then, son of a bitch, luckily I mic'd it with 2 mics.